Time to talk about the not-so-super committee with Kevin and Tracy. All right, Tracy, what did we learn? What are we going to learn today from the super committee?
Nothing. They still don't get it. I mean, they put this whole plan into place so that these would be draconian cuts across the board so that maybe they could come together to come up with a plan. But clearly the draconian, no one believes that's going to happen because a lot of people think that they can just rewrite it in the next year because they don't go into effect until
Right, so there's a loophole. They can actually play with this for another year.
Yes, so it's going to become just this big political gamesmanship over the next year. Who knows what cuts, if any, will go into effect. Some probably will. It won't be enough to do anything. So we're sit here just as bad as Europe in some ways with, we're not cutting anything. We're still growing our deficits. We still have all these problems with no solutions.
So in some ways, it seems like this was already about the election because no members on the committee had an incentive to come out and make a sacrifice because, well, if he's not going to do it and she's not going to do it, I might as well stay back, make sure I get reelected, and stalemate, gridlock work perfectly here.
Right. So, but what is it going to be that's going to push them over the edge? Is it going to be, bond vigilantes in the U.S. doing something? Or is it going to be, I don't know, like another downgrade from Moody's or the S&P? I don't know.
All right. So, Kev, it seems like on one side we've got it's all about defense versus taxes, right? One side's protecting the defense budget. The other side's protecting, we want taxes. So is this now the central election issue? Which party is better to be in charge of getting the deficit under control?
Obviously, nobody is fit to be. Look, these guys are the biggest bunch of buffoons out there. They are so myopic. They are so partisan. They can't get anything done. The only salvation is that the consequences for screwing this up aren't as bad as they could have been had they screwed up the debt ceiling debate. Because if you think about it, none of the biggest cuts are going to get enacted until 2013, and you can be absolutely sure that they are going to craft legislation to be able to make these cuts more palatable between now and then. So again, buffoonery aside, this is it's unfortunate, and again, the market is going to show its displeasure. It's showing it right now. The biggest thing is that, yes, if we get downgraded, that is going to increase our borrowing costs, but the only bright side of that is that finally that may force Congress to act. It is terrible that that's what it's going to come to. It's the only thing that's going to make them do the right thing.
Well, I'm going to ask about that. Speaking of pandering and passionate rhetoric, this quote is priceless. Unless we act today, the dismantling of the greatest armed forces in history could begin tomorrow.
Right.
Obviously Republican, Howard McKeon from California.
But
and that's how passionate it's going to get.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you dare threaten the safety of America by cutting the defense budget? Because what they're looking at is a Pentagon budget of $550 billion, taking a 10% haircut the very first year, 2013. All right, Tracy. S&P downgrade. Has there been any telegraphing that this is going to come?
No, but I know that a lot of people on the Hill think it's not going to come till the actual cuts go into effect. So they're kind of thinking, oh, if we get downgraded, it won't be until 2013. But that may not be the case. And if you're Moody's or S&P, you might be looking at it saying nothing they do in the next year is going to help this. We're downgrading them anyways. So that's kind of going to be up in the air. But a lot of them are betting on that there's not going to be a downgrade.
Well, S&P, one of the reasons for the downgrade was the dysfunctionality of the Congress.
Right.
They have
you guys don't get along.
How dysfunctional they are. So.
So
very possible.
So let's say we do get a downgrade.
Okay.
So let's say over the next couple of months, S&P does their math, and what does that do to our markets?
We buy the S&P at probably 900.
Nice.
I have my buy stop sitting there. Look, who knows what's going to happen? Hopefully nobody does. Hopefully, Congress comes up with some half-baked miracle where they can kick the can down the road. They still have 2 days to pull something ridiculous out of their hat. Hopefully something will happen, but I think there is a very real possibility that the other two major rating agencies do something, and that could have some severe consequences.
Right. Tracy, Dirk wrote a piece saying that we are not Italy. Why aren't we Italy?
Well, we can print our way out of it, for one, so that's a huge difference. And we still are the prime currency in the globe right now. So
and it's our own currency, whereas the Italians are trapped under someone else's umbrella.
We have much more control. So things aren't as bad for us as they are for Europe. But both of these entities combined, this isn't helping the global economy.
No, it's not.
I mean, we're already seeing some slowdown in China because they're tightening. So we have this kind of global tightening. Although the U.S. economy seems to be doing a little better, as we talked about earlier.
It's the best of the worst.
Yeah.
And that's our
I actually saw some reports China's starting to wave their finger now, like, you guys need to get your act together. All right, we'll be back in segment 3 with stock picks.